Yeah,
I'm super
absolutely.
excited. Yeah. And it was funny because Kristen and I were talking today about the time zone because I was really worried that because I have a time change, we had the time change last week. You guys didn't do it. And so
Exactly.
I didn't know what time it is with you guys and if I was going to miss the call because I was actually at the gym training someone up until like 6:30. I thought, oh my God, what if it's like 6:30 my time, which I thought it was originally. And
Right. Yes.
yeah, so it worked
I'm so
out.
glad you asked.
Yeah, yeah. And then I popped on here just now and it was like 7:29 and I'm like, no one's on. Like maybe I did have it
Oh,
wrong. It was like paranoia.
no.
Um,
To
but
be honest,
anyway,
I was jamming to some '90s music and I completely lost track of time. So.
love it, love it.
And I'm sorry, I'll jump out, but come back in. I forgot I've got turkey sausage on the stove, so I just got to go and
Oh,
grab it off the stove.
okay. No worries. So Kelly, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mute everybody except for you, and
Okay,
just you have the stage. So
okay, sounds great. All right. Well, like I said, thanks for having me. I'm super excited to do this. I've talked a few times on Kim's calls, but this is actually the first time I've been invited to speak on someone's team call. So um, totally honored. So I wanted to start by telling you how I started on my journey with Beachbody. If you didn't already know, I'm going to be a coach now. It'll be 3 years in July. It'll actually be 3 years in October that I'll be a working coach because what I did at first was reached out to Kim in July to actually work a program with the idea in the back of my head that I already knew that coaching was going to be for me, but I had to go through the process myself. And to backtrack a little bit, I come from a very athletic family. My dad was a marathoner growing up, when I was growing up, rather. Before that, he was into weightlifting. After that, he was into biking. My mom ran because my dad ran. My sister ran track, and I hated it. I hated running. I was pretty thin through high school, didn't have to, or I'm sorry, grade school, didn't have to worry about anything. And then I got to high school and I started gaining a little bit of weight. Nothing ever too crazy, but enough to be self-conscious about it. Um, and then I started incorporating fitness in merely to lose weight and to feel better about myself. But I was young and I wasn't going about it the right way. I did run in college just to be fit, not because of the love that my dad had for it. And then I eventually got there actually, and now I am a runner and love it. But um, I was fit, did the different exercises and all that through my 20s, my 30s. But I was always trying to chase something. I wasn't, I didn't have a firm grasp of how to get as fit as I wanted to be. Okay. And then through my adult years, I went through some things that kind of changed me internally. Um, I've been married and divorced twice. Both my husbands were addicts. And so leaving both marriages kind of was very, very challenging and tough. And I started to build this wall inside, and I got real. I just became really bitter, cynical. I had a chip on my shoulder. I had something to prove. I always thought I was a happy person, but I wasn't treating everyone all that great. I just had, my family was great. They actually like gave me this like out, like, well, she's been through so much. It's okay that she's a bitch. I mean, so, that's so wrong, and I was for so long just really hardened and had some financial difficulties with the second marriage and had to file for bankruptcy and just things that kept adding up that kind of like kept me bearing in, within myself. And so for all of these, pretty big deals that I went through, all of a sudden at 40, I don't know how old, 41 maybe, I found myself in a relationship only for a couple months. And when he left me, I was beyond devastated. Like it was harder for me to recover from that than my marriage breaking up, my other marriage breaking up, the bankruptcy. It's like, for some reason, this just like shook me. And during that time, I had found Kim on social and had been watching her, and I actually got my sister watching her, and we'd talk, and be like, oh, did you catch Kim's post, and this was like over the course of a year. And then when my boyfriend broke up with me, it was like a month, and I was just not getting over it. I was just like an empty shell, and I had a friend that just said, you look like death. You need to get over it now. It's time, focus. Yeah, she's just like, I just saw you in the grocery store this weekend. She's like, and you look like death. She's like, it's time to think about you, focus on something, find something and focus on you and get yourself back, because this is ridiculous. And it's really what I needed to hear, because it just, I just was really sad, and I've never had that issue before. I've always kind of bounced back from all those big things. But I'm wondering, now that I've been doing all this personal development and I've been doing a lot of healing through all this, if that was my breaking point, that I had built all this up in me, and then, someone after 5 months leaves me and I'm like crushed. Well, I think I just had reached my breaking point. So my sister, in talking to me through this, she's like, yeah, okay, you want to do something. What do you want to do? She's like, what about what Kim does? Have you ever thought about that? And I said, yeah, I actually have, because I was by then running, getting back into fitness, always loved nutrition, learning about nutrition. I wasn't as healthy as I wanted to be, but I loved learning about it. I loved knowing what to do. So to follow Kim and then think, can I do that too, was kind of like the answer to my prayers at that time. So I reached out to Kim and I messaged her and I said, I've been following you and I see there's this 21-day fix program. And I explained to her, I'm like, I'm a group exercise teacher. I train for long distance races. I don't think there's room for more fitness in my life, but the eating plan looks really good. Do you think it'd be something that would fit for me? And so long story short, I signed up. And in that conversation, she asked me right off the bat, do you think you'd want to coach? And I'm like, yeah, probably. But I want to get to know the product first. Is it going to work for me? Am I going to get results? So I had to do it for me first. But through that and the groups that she had put me in, I just kind of started like soaking it all in, like, because I knew that I was going to be a coach. I just knew that's what I wanted to do for me. And so then that October is when I started. Through personal development, I've learned to like break down those walls I had that made me so crispy, like I've never been the girl that cries at all the movies, or, I'm not a big, savvy person, but I'm definitely like a lot nicer in general because I'm happier. Like I've just been healing. And because of that, then like outwardly, I'm able to behave a lot better to the people around me. And they've noticed. So, my family is like, oh yeah, this is great. So anyway, that's how I started Beachbody. And I'll backtrack. When I started in October as a working coach, I knew if I was going to do this, I had to incorporate the fitness too. I had to figure out a way. And I did. So I'm just even more active, but that's how I found more results. So, anyway, it's been, 2.5 years and I'm finally starting to see some significant growth, but I can say that it has been steadily growing since I started my coaching business. It's just recently, as I have gotten some coaches that are working the business, then I'm really finding some growth here. And so I just wanted to share a few tips that I think has helped me grow my business and what might help you. And some of it is stuff that you have probably heard in one form or another. Hopefully you find some takeaways. The number one thing, or the first thing rather, that I would say is you have to be consistent. And I know we hear that all the time, but not just consistent in your posting, which is one of the things that we need to be consistent on for sure, but consistent with yourself. Like, I know that if I wasn't a coach tomorrow, that I would still be doing the things I do every single day as a coach. That consistency is in my mindset, and that's through the personal development and the knowing where I want to go. Then I know I am better because of these programs, because I work them every day. So consistency in my mindset, consistency in my habits, which are the obvious, the personal development, the following through with the workouts, the eating plan, the Shakeology. We have to be consistent with ourselves so that we can ask others to be consistent with themselves, and for them to see us as a consistent presence in their life. Because, I wouldn't want to, and I think Kim just said this on the call, I mean, like, I wouldn't want to have Kim as a coach if I didn't know she was going to be there all the time. I mean, I rely on her we know she's going to be there. That's consistency built over time. And that only happens when you stay in it every day. So that's something that I always make sure that I do, is that I show up for myself first. And that's how I've been able to heal, become stronger, so that I'm stronger for others. Another thing that I try to keep in mind is, think of the things that you look for in a leader. Like, who do you want to be leading you? I think of qualities like a reliability. You need to be able to rely on the person that you're looking up to, that you're learning from, that they're not going anywhere, that they're not going to go dark on you, they're not going to ghost, they're not going to have a meltdown and then you don't know when they're going to show up. I mean, we are professionals in our coaching businesses for a reason. I look for my leader to be an expert in their field, and I'm going to touch more on that later. I look for my leader to be fearless, not in the way that they're reckless, but just they're fearless in the way that they're going to go after what they want because they love life. So those are the qualities that I aspire to be as a coach for somebody else. And so I want to exude that into my social media, in the way that people see me. So I practice that as much as I can to grow into those roles. Oppositely, I look for what qualities, and I would ask you to do the same. What qualities do you dislike in people that you wouldn't want to, have as a leader? That's what makes us so great in this company, is that nobody's cookie cutter. Everyone's a little bit different. Now, there's probably, half the coaches out there, if I can pop onto their profile, I know they're not going to serve me well. So you kind of have to keep that in mind too. I mean, everyone is different, and some people are not going to take to you, but it doesn't matter, because you're looking for the people that, are looking for the qualities that you have and that you hold dear. This point was interesting when I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about, and this just happened to me in the last year. Look for clues in your challengers and your potential customers. And what I mean by that is, Natalie is one of my working coaches, and she actually told me no the first time she sought me out. She wanted to work a program. She got all the information. She actually turned me down for Weight Watchers. And then a year later, she ended up coming on board. And as she was my challenger, I mean, she's a busy mom. She's a doctor. I didn't think to ask her about the coaching opportunity right away. I'm going to be totally honest with you. But she was a top-notch challenger. She showed up. And in her posts in my challenge groups, I just was picking out clues slowly and surely that she was she already had it going on. And then when she would start quoting personal development, I'm like, okay, all right, And so when it came time to ask her to go to step into a coaching opportunity sneak peek, and she's like, yeah, you can add me. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I knew this was coming just because I picked up on clues over time. When somebody gets it, you know how that, like, there's some people don't know if coaching is for them. Others, maybe they don't know coaching is for them, but you see all their qualities just like out there. They've already got it. They already know the instincts. So look in your challenge groups. They might kind of be like laying in the weeds, I mean, it's caused me, that experience alone has caused me to kind of look at some of my other challengers that, I would think if I would say something to them too early, they'd be like, oh, no, 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 no. Even though I see it in them, the best way then is to establish, get them totally immersed in their program, get them the results, and then kind of like help them bring it out of them. And also, people I see on social media, I see like similar qualities like that. That's what gets me like, okay, I'm gonna keep my eye on this person. I'm gonna follow their posts. I'm gonna comment on their stuff because I see something in them that echoes, what I'm putting out there, and it could be a really great match. So when you can pick up on those clues, I mean, we've all seen it, especially on Instagram. There's a lot on Instagram. We all follow people that, I'm following a girl right now that, I mean, she's doing exactly what we're doing, but she's just showing her progress in the gym. And it's like, okay, and I did invite her to a sneak peek. She's not a coach yet, but she's got it. She's got it. She's already doing it. I mean, crazy. Okay, so then my other point that I want to talk about is to be a resource to people. And a lot of times, like early on in our coaching business, we feel insecure about like putting out our coaching duties, whether it be, spurring on a challenger or giving them advice or, giving them information. I think new coaches are kind of sometimes timid to do that because a lot of us don't have degrees in nutrition, although, God, I wish I did someday. We don't have, masters in exercise science. Some do, but, and like me and Kristen have gone through our Group X training and stuff like that. But most of us are just began our coaching careers because we were sharing our own journeys and we were making our own mistakes along the way. But that is what has attracted most of our people to us, because of our, our own uniqueness. But don't forget to be a resource to these people and have the confidence behind you to be that resource. Being a coach has just pushed me more into knowing that I want to be an expert in my field. I don't want to just be a coach. I want to have that knowledge behind me. So what are some things we can do? I mean, we need to do our research. If someone asks a question, there's a lot of times I'll have a challenger ask me a question I don't know the answer to, so I go find it, learn about it, and then take it back to them. And that's how, I mean, we're kind of like, I always consider myself to be self-taught. Okay, because I've been, before this, I was doing the group exercise, and now I'm a personal trainer, so I did have to study for that. But like, even before these things, I was getting the fitness magazines, and I was dog-earing the pages that I wanted to come back to, and I was reading up on recipes and why this vegetable is healthy, what does it provide, yada yada. That stuff interests me, so I felt like I was kind of learning over the years. But we can continue to do that, and the more knowledgeable we are, the more trustworthy we are, the more reliable we are, the better coaches we are. And we also need to be coachable. I always thought of myself as being very coachable. Like, I went to some personal training sessions back like 10 years ago. I had a trip to Jamaica. I had like 8 sessions, and I'm like soaking it up. Like, tell me what to do. Tell me what to do, and I will do it. And I will trust the process. And I did trust the process, and I got the results. And So we need to continue to stay coachable ourselves, which means soaking up the trainings we have, soaking up what Kim provides to us, I always feel like that's a stem or a sidebar to personal development, really. I mean, when I'm getting ready for work, most mornings, my son can attest to this, I've got Autumn playing because I'm catching up on the 80-day videos, or if I'm caught up on those, I'm going into Beachbody 411, I'm going into Beachbody Champions, and I'm pulling up something, and even if I've heard it before, it's just coming in again. I'm soaking it up. And so that will be better coaches in the long run for listening to it. And, we'll be, maybe doing those trainings someday ourselves, So keep learning. And by doing so, you're just going to be more confident, a more confident leader and a coach. The last thing that I wanted to say about it is love what you do. Just love what you do and give it everything. If you can exude joy, then the passion that comes out of you, that it's going to set you apart from the other coaches, and it's going to attract those that are ready to work with you. But I think that it all ties together. I love what I do, so I stay consistent. I'm consistent, so I'm reliable. I'm reliable, and I'm there for them as a coach. So I think it all can tie together if you practice all those things every day. So that's kind of what I keep in mind, all the time, and it's kind of held me, because there's times where it's hard, you don't want to do it. there's days where it's like, okay, it's Sunday, okay, get on the couch here and hit the remote, but times like that, thinking of these points help me. So hopefully it helps you.
Thank you, Kelly. I love that. I took so many notes. I took like a page and a half.
Oh, good.
No, it was really good. Yeah, I mean, I just like the way that how each person kind of explains it. It could be like the same, be consistent. Yeah. The way that you explain it is just different. And sometimes those words just are more, again, they connect with either, Annette or Susan or even myself, where I know like, oh, I know so-and-so on my team, like that's what she needed, and that example. So I was like scribbling. I don't even know if I can read my handwriting. I was like, what letter is that?
I thought I was being rude because I wasn't looking at her.
I know, like, I'm listening.
Well, I kept thinking, you're seeing the top of my head, it's because I'm writing.
I know.
You guys are awesome.
So, Susan and Annette, kind of, now it's open forum. If you have any questions or you want to just, kind of follow up or get clarity, if there's anything, it could be something that's not on topic that Kelly talked about, that you kind of just want to know more.
I have a question. I have a question because this I have learned is my big downfall, because I think I've got everything else. I've got enough. That sounds terrible. That's not how I meant it. I think I've got a good grasp on everything else, on the posting and
mm-hmm.
I'm an exerciser too. I was a personal trainer about 1 million years ago.
Oh, awesome.
So I love that kind of stuff too. So I love it. Here's where I get inviting. You got any tips on inviting and getting over the stop it, Kristen.
Yeah. Oh, why? I need to hear that story. Okay. Well, yeah, actually, because it's funny, like inviting, I think, is something that really none of us love to do. I don't think that there's a coach that's going to be like, oh my God, I can't wait to get home tonight so I can fire up all these cool messages, I've tried it every which way. Some months I'm really disciplined with it. Some months I'm not. But every once in a while, we'll do something that'll kind of spur me on to do it again. And it always teaches me something new. And this last time was this group that we're doing right now in the Girlfriend's Guide. Is that what it is? Like, I watch Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce, so maybe that's why I said that.
New Girls Guide or something.
Okay, New Girls Guide, okay. So, I invited like I already had, I was telling Kristen before you two got on the call, Natalie and I are doing a private event, and we had already I invited almost 500 people from my friends list, and then all of a sudden we're talking about this New Girls Guide, and you need to invite to it. And I'm thinking, well, I did run out of invites, and I have half of my letter A's that I haven't invited to that. So I'm going to invite them to this one that we're all doing. And I also boosted a small ad for it too. So when Kim was talking to us and asking us to invite to it and everything, yeah, I did my little event, and I could have let it go and just focused on this big event I'm doing with Natalie. But I thought, you know what? I want to get people in this too. I don't want to miss out on the good stuff that our whole team is doing. So sure enough, I went into those A's that I invited because I didn't hear anything. They did not click going. I didn't hear any, participation. So I had to go back to them. I used tips from Kim on what she had wrote, just real general stuff. I fired off, I don't know how many messages through all those A's. And sure enough, people started, I was getting answers that I wasn't expecting. One person, sure. The other one was like, oh, I'm sorry, I just got this. And it was Wednesday last night. Oh, I just got this. Hit me up next time. I'm like, no, it's still going on. I can add you. And it was just taking down that fear and that prejudgment. That prejudging that someone's going to say no and why they're going to say no. So I fired these off, and one person got back to me, Kelly, good luck with your business. I'm in Weight Watchers and I'm loving it. Okay, great. Good luck with your journey, moving on. So, it's not like I got a ton back, but now I've got, I think, 8 in the group. And it was just from doing those messaging. Hey, I get that group starting. Can I add you? We're putting in the last of our peeps. What do you want to do? And then the answers I was getting back, that's where I learned. When the girl came back with sure, within a minute of me sending that message, I thought, why have I not asked her earlier? Why didn't I not ask her to an event months ago? And so it's always a learning experience that you never know where someone's at in their journey. Like, I've had people say no to me a year and a half ago that signed up last month. It's all going to come back. And every time someone tells me something like, I'm at Weight Watchers. Now, Weight Watchers, I respect that program. There's others I don't. So when they tell me they're on isogenics or something, I am gracious, I am nice, and I think to myself, I will work with them in the future. I always think that. And it's because I believe it. I think, good luck. I'm sorry you're wasting that money, but I don't say that, of course. I do wish them well, and I want someone to succeed if they're on a journey. I'm on the same journey. I don't want to see anyone fall on their face, but I totally believe in what we have to offer, and I know they'll be back. So as far as inviting, these things that we do, these little coaching sneak peeks and VIP previews, get me out of my comfort zone too. And I think we all need to do that at some point in our business, because I will get lazy too. Cold messages suck because you don't get a lot of goodness from it, but it does end up paying off, because at the worst case scenario, you get better at sending out messages.
Yes.
You're practicing your skills. You might hear crickets, but it's getting you to get over that hump. And, once in a while you get a nice surprise. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
It's kind of like, Susan, you just have to get, thick skin.
Yes.
To inviting, like Kelly was saying how, and I'm just like that. Kim has always said for the longest time that I have these walls built up and that no one can get through. And she's like, you're not putting out the real you. And so it's kind of like Kelly had her breaking point. I've had my breaking point. Y'all can see it when I have my breaking point and all of a sudden life. But it's like when it comes to us being coaches, that's when we don't want to have thick skin and we want to open up. But when it comes to inviting, we need to have that thicker skin, because we never know. Annette and Susan, you two are the only two working coaches I have that took a year to say yes. You know that?
Did I really take a year?
I felt like you took a year, yes.
I know I did.
I took a year.
I did.
So were you guys challengers first or just?
No. I've known Susan for years, like through my ex-husband, and then I met Annette through a mutual friend. We did Tough Mudder, and Annette hated me. That I was like, she didn't like me.
I thought she was a snobby Oriental girl.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It was early in the morning, and I did not sign myself up to go trek through the frickin' mud.
And she had long nails.
I had nails. Like, I'm like, this shit is not. What?
That's hilarious.
Who spends $100 to go run through the mud and freeze, and then have to go into this freeze tank and then get electrocuted at the end for a 1 year?
I like running on concrete, plain concrete.
Yeah, that was why I was bitchy.
Kristen, how did you just follow me? Because you said I was doing everything online already. You just were stalking me after the race? Yeah.
That's an interesting question because here's how I remember.
Oh no, they're gonna start thinking about what I did.
Here's how I remember. My middle son did Muay Thai at Kristen's ex's gym.
Okay.
And my youngest son has autism. So we would go, and that's how I met Kristen. And so through that period of time, but I mean, we were never like best buddies or anything because you were in and out, and I mean, you were always friendly, but you were kind of, I remember the engagement and all he was such a, anyway, we won't go there, I guess. Anyway, yes. And then my son stopped going there. And it was like, it was very weird. Okay. This is just the honest to God's truth is I was at a desperate point that I knew I needed something. And so I was praying for 3 things to happen. And that was a way to support my family and stay at home and be at home with my youngest son, a way to not be fat anymore and get my health back, and a way to help. I think it was a way to help people. Those were my 3 things. And the next thing I knew, Kristen pops up and says, hi.
But guess what? That was a straight up cold message because we hadn't been talking.
Really?
Yeah, we had. I mean, when Jake stopped, and then I didn't see Caden train at the gym or teach anymore. Then there was no more contact.
Yeah, and then and I did, and I said mine was money. Mine was I really wanted to do it. I was like all in, but I was like,
send me these long messages.
I still do. I'm so mouthy.
Oh, it's all right.
But
No, and I used to think, who is this crazy girl that I don't even think I'm like?
Keep telling me that like you're doing everything and you have potential, and I know you'll do awesome at it.
But I think what I thought is I didn't believe in myself then. You know, even though I had lost almost 100 pounds, I still didn't believe in myself. So, but Kristen, she was persistent.
Oh yeah, she tried to use like not knowing how to use technology as an excuse. I was like, well, you're gonna learn.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So you're gonna
And that brings up a good
and we're gonna
point,
figure
though.
out.
I mean, everybody is at, you never know where someone's at in their journey, you know, and that wasn't believing in herself, but you saw something in her.
Yes.
So you would probably have kept asking until she said yes, or maybe you did, you know.
Yep.
So when people say no or they don't say anything, I mean, that never means no. I mean, because you never know like what is going on you never know what's going on behind closed doors. I mean, you know, I could ask someone this month to join a challenge group and they could have horrendous things going on in their life. And then in another 6-7 months, they might be like, yeah, I've been wanting to join you. This is my time. How do we know? You know, we're not them, you know?
I just had my one, my new discount coach, 2 years I've been
Right?
working on her.
Wow.
And finally she just said, message me. I quit messaging her.
Right.
And she's like, I gained 12 pounds and I need your help. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But I think that's where the consistency comes in.
Yes.
You know,
I
she's
just
been
had that-
seeing me for 2 years.
That's
Go
right.
ahead.
I just had that happen at bowling with Michelle, who hikes with her son on her back. She got bit on the leg by a spider, and she hasn't been, and she had like a sore like this big on her leg and antibiotics and the whole.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know, she told me Wednesday, so she hasn't been able to work out. She was doing 80-day, but I never saw her do anything. I got her in the group, and I never saw her doing anything. And she's the one who also went outside and got her loops not through me, and got her other stuff not through me, and has been doing, what was that? What's the name of that shake she's doing, Kristen? Not Mega, Vega? Yeah, doing that, you know, because it's cheaper, and it's like, well, okay, and you're getting cheaper results. But
You're paying,
she said to me yesterday, because she always, you know, you walk in and you see these people, and she looked at me, and she's like, and I mean, like, and after, since doing 80-day, I was skinny, but now I'm like leaned out. It looks different. And she looks at me, I can see her without looking at her. I can see her looking at me like, oh, I want to look like you. And it's like, well, I'm trying to help you. She told me yesterday, she said, you know, I tried to exercise again and I can't because my leg still hurts from this bite. Because she said, I didn't think what I was doing in your program was helping. She said, but I quit exercising and I gained 10 pounds. And I was like, Michelle, preach.
But when she's ready, she's going to think of you. And that's what Annette was saying with the consistency. There's people that are watching us on social media that they're not liking our stuff. They're not commenting. I hear it on the street all the time. I live in a small area. A lot of people around here follow me. They might not be my customers, but I'll hear like, oh, what was that thing you ate? Like, they all know my business because I'm putting it out there. But when they need me, when they need help, rather, I want them to think of me. So the only way that's going to happen is if I'm never going away. Like, I want them to, like, look, like, a year ahead, I want them to, like, need me and be like, well, she's not going anywhere. This is who I want to help me, you know? So, you know.
So do you have then, you're in a small, you're in like a small town? You're in a small area?
Yeah, my town is 4,000 people. And then right across the river, like 5 minutes away, there's two towns that are, like, linked together, and they're like 10,000 each, maybe.
So do you have most of your people from social media?
No, I have some, and I have some from the Beachbody Lead program. The majority is Warm Market and stems from the Warm Market.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I use my role at the Y as a group fitness instructor and now a personal trainer to link with my Beachbody coaching. Like, and now, you know, my gym is saying that they're looking at hiring a wellness coach. I go, that's my jam. I do it online. Like, everything I do besides my full-time job at the newspaper supports this health and wellness theme that I am so passionate about. So I'm like, there's, you know, I've got people that, you know, take group exercise from me that are Beachbody clients with me, personal training people that I'm developing eating plans that hopefully will become Shakeology drinkers. So I'm trying to tie it all together. So yeah, definitely Warm Market fueled.
So I have, kind of in line with that, I have another question then. Because at my church, they put out this survey, because we have a women's group, and they put out this survey about what your interests are, what you'd be willing to do, if you would be willing to, like, teach any little mini classes. And I know that I am not a certified trainer anymore. but I know that as coaches, right, we're not supposed to teach classes, right? We're not supposed to use the programs and teach classes.
Right.
But one of the questions was, would you be willing to teach an exercise group? And obviously I can't answer yes to that, but is there a way to maybe kind of...
I mean, you can, in a way, if you just turn it into a fit club, like if you're just pressing play.
I didn't think they did that anymore.
You can still do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody does it because it's either you want them to get their own copy, or you're a group live instructor and you want them to come take your class.
Right.
But, you know, within the church atmosphere, you know, if they're giving you like if they're willing to give you like a time slot and opportunity, why not for that short period of time do a fit club, you know? And
I could even do it as a one night thing.
Yeah.
As a mini lesson, and do it as a fit club and use a program and just kind of jam with it with the program.
It would be like once a week anyway, so it's not like they're going to really be able to get that much benefit, you know, but if they like it enough, then they're going to say, I want to do it more than just once a week. I want the whole thing.
Or another way that you can go about it is you have knowledge of all these programs, write something simple based on what you've worked. I've been doing that with my personal training clients. I have moves now in my brain that I've worked in my home workout programs that I'm going to share with others that, you know, I'm not doing 80-day obsession with them, but I might do a band move here and there that's going to help them. And they're going to be like, wow, I really want to work my booty more. Well, I'm working a program right now. So why don't you kind of create a mashup? And again, that puts you as the expert in your church community. So when they want more, they're going to come to you.
Well, I've already had a couple of them approach me kind of randomly. I was telling Kristen this happened a couple of weeks ago. A couple of them approached me randomly and was like, I want to do what you're doing. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
But this would be a bigger reach, I guess, is what I was looking at, as a way to.
Yeah, more people will talk about it too, and then they'll talk, and it'll do kind of the work for you.
Yeah, because they've all seen the change, obviously the physical change. I go to church and I'm not the same person I was a year ago, and okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And do you have any questions? Oh, Kelly,
no, I was just gonna say, because this reminded me, like, if you know, within your community like this, one of the best investments I made, and Kristen, you might have them too, but I spent $60 last year and got 500 business cards made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was in a sales call today for newspaper sales, and we started talking about Beachbody for so long, where she's like, do you have a card? I'm like, I do. And I thought, wow, was that $60 well spent? I originally got it because I thought I was going to be going to vendor shows, and I tried my hand at that, and I didn't like it. So I've got all these business cards, but now I've got them, and so then you put that in front of people. They've got your contact information. Then you look like, you know.
What do you say on your card?
Mine's bad. I need a new one.
I have it in my coat.
Oh, it is. Well,
okay. Well, what should it say?
Well, I mean, mine was when I was teaching Insanity all the time. So like.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah, yours looks good.
Insanity, and then mine was literally just to get people to come into my classes.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
But
mine is just Team Beachbody across the top. My headshot. Kelly Campbell, health and wellness coach is how I put it, and then I put just a little diamond symbol after. I put my phone. I put my email, I put my Facebook link, my Instagram link, and my website too on the Beachbody.
Okay.
It gives them all the information that like they can get a hold of me easy. That's really what I wanted.
I think it's a great idea, but I hadn't thought it was something really, I mean, especially now with Facebook and everybody, all this.
So like you can I have businesses and restaurants, you can put your business card in.
Yeah.
Add in Starbucks, you can put it up there. That's my problem. My card does not have my face. That doesn't help.
I need to do that, like you said, though. Like go to the pin boards at places and just kind of stick them up. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do that for when I needed more people to come to my classes, but I need a new one because that doesn't work anymore.
Cool.
Kind of can't teach class when you're divorced from the guy at the gym.
Oh no.
I'll find a new place. I just gotta figure it out. But yeah, I love that. I didn't even tell them to think about at this point. It would be a really good time to get business cards for sure, because then that's your face. And just another exposure, and kind of makes you look professional.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's awesome.
Any other questions, you guys?
No.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much, Kelly. I really appreciate you taking the time, and I know that the girls, they have definitely written down stuff, so I know that they'll probably come talk to me later this week. Be like, what do you think about this or this?
Yeah,
great.
I had 2 aha moments out of that. So.
Yay. Happy to help.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It does help hearing it from other people. It does, because I took away more this week than I did last week.
Great. Good.
Yeah.
All right, ladies.
Thank you, Kelly. Have a great night.
All right, you too. Bye.
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 All right, ladies.
That was
Anything? Yeah, you like that one, right?
Yeah, that was a good one.
I learned stuff about her I didn't even know.
Yeah, I didn't know either. And that she is one I thought was unapproachable to me.
Yeah.
And really, I got more out of that one with the aha moments than I have in a little bit, you know.
Good. Well, I'm glad. I mean, that's kind of the whole purpose of why we're doing this. And then next month, you know, we've got, I don't remember now who I asked. We've got Tanya, we have Sarah, and Amber. Yes. That's right. So
by then, maybe she'll be able to share more.
I know, right? I know. My goodness. So I really loved what Kelly brought up, and that, again, just along the whole thing, you know, is that doing it for yourself, you know, showing up for yourself, being consistent for yourself, you know. And when she said that, show up for yourself, I immediately was like, oh, Annette, I hope you're listening to that one.
Yeah, I underlined it, and I put aha moment, show up for yourself first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first aha moment. And the next aha moment was love what you do. I've lost that somewhere. I have. Yeah. That hit when immediately when she said it, it was like, you're missing that. Yeah. And I think because I've gained weight. Mm-hmm. I mean, my wheels were just a spinning because I put where did it go? And then I jotted some down, and I'm like, why did you give up on yourself? Yeah. So that was a good one. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I mean, it was simple, but like I told her, I really liked the way that kind of some of the wording that she used, and like some of the examples too. You know, like what do you look for in a leader? You know, I haven't really talked to you guys about that. You know, and being able to write down those characteristics, and so then, you know, I wrote down what does she look for in a leader. So then now she's gonna try and embody that because that's what she wants.
Right.
And when she does that, then just by that action, she's going to attract other people who want those same things. And then she was saying, you know, to think about the qualities you dislike. Because if you already know what you like and what you don't like, then you can already right off the bat from conversations or even just like Facebook scrolling, you know, and like, well, I'm not even going to attempt with that. Not even going to touch that, you know. Right. Sorry. And who will serve you well? It's like, oh yes, like being able to write those characteristics. So I think I'm going to kind of redo my whiteboard over here. I'm going to have a section about what I'm looking for so that I can constantly remind myself, and then also remind myself to, you know, to exhibit those same characteristics. because I don't want to kind of go back to the old or the default way. You know, I don't want people to have that same like first reaction that like Annette had, you know, we're like, oh, you know, she's like really stuck up, or, you know, she always has resting bitch face, or you know. I really do want to come off as, you know, the walls are down and I am approachable. I mean, there are some people I will always have them, but.
Well, you have to.
But when it comes to the other side of my life, I want to be approachable. And kind of like just be reminded that even in our messaging, you know, you heard Kelly in saying like all the things that she had to go through, and then it took a breakup of like a 5-month relationship that broke her down harder than her 2 divorces and bankruptcy. So everyone has that breaking point. And but it's also, in addition to the breaking point, it's us being consistent, and then them trusting us when they're at that breaking point, I think is the crucial part. You know, if they don't, that's the time where they're most vulnerable. If they don't think that we're even reliable, or that, you know, we're consistent, or they can trust us, then, you know, that's when they go to Isogenics. Kidding. Or Thrive. I'm dealing with this girl who's doing Thrive. But yeah, I don't know. I really liked it. I'm gonna start doing a few things a little bit different. And I have been following Mindy Horde. I've been following Mindy Horde for a few years now. And she's a part of Depot Nation.
Did she color her hair green or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think so. It'd be really hard for her to do that. No. Her handle is Fit Asian Mom, or if you're on Instagram, then she's Sober Movement. And I've been following her, and especially with the last like year, she's been really struggling with her weight. And so I've been following it because I feel like I relate to that. I understand that. And she just recently went ahead and did this food allergy test, but it's with you send them a strand of your hair, and they're able to break it all down, and they not just your food allergies, but what your intolerances are. So what foods you should stay away from, what might make you tired, more bloated, you know, things like that. On top of that, so she figured out there's a lot of foods that she'd been eating in the last year that were contributing to the reason why she was always so tired, or she always looked bloated in the stomach area. On top of that, she also found that she's got PCOS as well. So she's totally changing everything up, as well as she's on the 2B Mindset test group. Just with starting in that test group, she's lost 12 pounds in 2 months, or 16? No, 16 pounds in 2 months.
Wow.
Right? She was in the test group for 80-Day Obsession as well, and she lost 3 pounds. Right? And so that's kind of where I went live today in the challenge group, and I was kind of telling you guys about my funk and whatever, and how I think that the 2B mindset is something that I'm really going to need, because that's what I'm struggling with. My eating is not crazy. It's not off. It's off-timed nutrition most times. A damn alarm goes off and I'm like, you know, stranded. I can't eat anything, or I didn't prepare enough. But what I'm eating is still good. But I think the 2B mindset is that they talk about, what is it like? She talks about, it's like veggie something and veggie more, or veggie something. I don't know. But the difference is like the balances of actual how much vegetables you have, and the balance of it. So, and I think too, that's where Amber is seeing the results too, and she was sharing pictures of her food, and that it's not so focused about what you can't have, limiting your foods. I kind of feel like I'm going backwards, but it's just, you know, through the company growing, and then through myself in this journey and growing, is that yes, I have learned what's healthier foods as far as from 21 Day Fix, and understanding the glycemic index, and you know how they're better, and foods. But I think 2B mindset is really going to help all of us really have a much, much healthier relationship with food. I've said that I have a healthy relationship with food, but I think it's just, I just don't want to ruin all my hard work by blowing it all and you know, eating the donut and this and that. But so it's not really a healthier relationship. It's just fear. It's fear, and that's not healthy either. So I need to be mindset, because I really do need to. It's all in our head, you know. Same thing like 80-day obsession. These stupid workouts, like 2x15s or 3x10s. Like, I don't know why 3x10s is screwing me up so badly versus 2x10s or 2x15s.
I like the 3x10s better.
Yeah, I hate the 3x10s.
Yeah, I love the 3x10s.
When I see that stupid tracking sheet and I'm like, oh, it's a 3x10 week, I'm like, this sucks. I hate it. I mean, and
I hate the cardio. I hate it.
Did you see the post that she said if you don't like 80-day obsession cardio, you can do 21-day fix extreme cardio twice?
Oh no.
I didn't
Twice?
see that either.
Twice.
I didn't see it either.
Yeah.
It's just really hard on my knees, and something that I have a block every time I see that.
I'll be honest with you, I have only done that cardio once.
Are we talking about cardio flow with all the animals, or are we talking about
core
no.
cardio, right?
Core cardio.
cardio core?
No.
Yeah.
Cardio core.
Yeah,
Total body core.
No, not total body core. I like total body core.
No,
It's cardio.
I don't know, whatever. Cardio, whatever they.
Well, there's
She
there's
does
three
all
of
the
them.
jumping. She
There's
does all the crossing your legs.
The
and then-
plyo, that's cardio core.
Yeah. I have only done cardio core
I
once.
don't like that one
I will
either.
tell you. I know I'm kind of a rebel in that. Was shocker. All the other times when I'm supposed to do that, I do a combo. I go to Les Mills and I do CX Works and I do body combat. So CX Works is just a core workout, and then I go ahead and I do body combat, because then I get my cardio and I'm still getting core activation because of all the punches and kicks and knees and stuff. And I don't know. I mean, I said it in the group live video today, and I'll say it again, but when you know who your trainer is, like when you know who your coach is and who speaks to you, that gets you motivated and that keeps you going. And it doesn't matter that person, obviously I'm talking about, that person could say the stupidest crap. That person could make me do like the dumbest moves or the moves that I freaking hate, and I will still do it. And it's something that I'm going to work on for the next 40 some days that I have left, or 30 some days, whatever, however many days. I don't want to do math right now. I will finish it. I will grit my teeth and I will finish it, but you're not going to see me do a second full round of 80-day obsession. And it's flat out just because I love Autumn. I know that her programs work. I have done every single one of them. And I see other people get really great results. I got awesome results with Fix Extreme. But that's also because I was also teaching Insanity.
Yeah.
And Fix Extreme was just different too. I like that it was more intense. But yes, I really got annoyed with her comments. And, because it's the same thing for 7 days, 3 weeks in a row. I really, really, really need either, and I don't know why, and I'm so surprised in saying this, I really need Tony or Shanti back in my life. That's it. I don't know why. I don't know why I need Tony, because for the longest time I couldn't stand Tony. But I do need Tony or Shanti. I need a combo of the two of them. So I was thinking of doing Fix Extreme and Max 30, but now I'm thinking I might just do 22-minute hardcore and Max 30. Because that's still weights and plyometrics. Because I know I need to combine. I can't do 2 plyometric kind of things. I definitely can't do shift shop and Max 30. That's too much. And even shift shop, I love Chris, I'm just not in love with Shift Shop. So
No,
I need
we're
max
on the same page.
right? I definitely need my max 30.
I think it's because we started with Sean, and there was something about the way he motivated you
Absolutely.
to, like he was in your living room. I never felt like any of the other trainers were in my living room. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And see, Rach and Dan,
yes,
they were in our living room.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, because Sean is always doing his workouts 100%. You know, it's blood, sweat, tears, and snot. But the other thing too is, and I was saying it too in that, and I think it's more coming from an instructor point of view. I don't like the lack of direction and really explaining proper form. Let me tell you, like, I'll show you, I don't know if you can see, but like today, sorry, my shorts are short. Today, you know, I did yesterday's work because I was behind. So I don't know what the hell these things are called. You have to reach over and you have to stand.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? So I did one whole set and I didn't feel it in my core, right? And then I looked at her again and I missed like a few reps. And then I saw, oh, so I was doing this, just reaching. That's not it. She's actually like leaning over and twisting. Oh, when I lean over and I have the weight all the way on my ankle and twist, oh, now I feel it in my core. But did she say anything like that? No. No. It pissed me off. I was like, oh my gosh, I wasted an entire set not feeling it in my core, thinking, what the hell is this total body core? All I feel is in my shoulder because I was literally doing all the work to do this. When I'm supposed to lean, use my core to move this, to move the weight, and then press up to use my shoulders. I was like, no wonder my shoulders are totally gassed out. I was making it way harder and making it a whole upper body, and it wasn't supposed to be like that. So it's like little things like that really kind of get on my nerves because Sean T and even Tony, they literally, and the way, it's because the way they teach us, not teach, they tell us, you start from the ground up to tell us what we're supposed to do. And Autumn doesn't really do that. Like, I even think some part of phase one, all of a sudden, she randomly was like, oh yeah, these sliders, if you're on carpet, take the cover off. I was like, wow, we're already halfway through and you just told us we could take the cover off? Like, that's kind of like an important thing at the beginning. Here are these sliders. If you're on carpet, take it off. If you're not, keep the covers on. It's nitpicky, but if you see how, like, if you've done like the other programs, they tell you, I mean, they don't talk to you like you're dumb, but they tell you like more information. Like sometimes I don't need to be told that my knees need to go over my toes in my squat. But sometimes when I'm getting tired, my knees start to go in. I need that person to tell me to bring them back and go straight over my toes. Does that make sense?
The one that we did with the sliders and you go into the squat, the yoga pose.
Chair,
yeah. The chair. So the whole time, even in my video, I was watching my video and I'm like, I'm on my tippy toes the whole time in that chair. And then I noticed somebody else's video and they dropped their feet and then went into chair. I'm like, why did I do it that way? Because I was like, whoa, you know, I couldn't never catch my balance.
Yeah.
But it never dawned on me that they're setting their feet down.
They're putting their feet down.
I understand what you mean because we get direction on how to do it, but not step by step.
Yeah, and I think it's just different. Some people, they do. Yeah. They look at everything, right? They look at the video. They stare at Autumn the entire time. I don't do that. I'm listening to her because half the time I can't be right in front because I'm going to hit the ceiling fan, or I don't have enough space, You know, so I need to be able to just hear her. And if I don't know what to do, and if I hear nothing, then I have to look up and I'm like, well, crap, I was doing that wrong. Shit. So that's like my only like bummer and disappointment, especially knowing that like they went and did 3-week yoga retreat for that purpose. That if you don't look at the TV, you know exactly what to do. So it like boggles my mind that nobody's talking to her in her ear saying, how is your form looking? What is it supposed to be? Because I see all variations. When people are leaning over, some people are totally leaned over, some are still over here. You know, I still don't understand the one move in phase one. It's like we're our staggered stance, and as we bring the weights up, we're supposed to extend our back leg. I still don't understand what that's supposed to feel like. How far are my 2 feet supposed to be away from each other? Like I'm like, this is like a wasted move for my butt. I feel it in my arms, that's great, but I have no idea. I even doubled up on the bands thinking maybe that's it. That wasn't it either. I'm like, okay, well, that move either I just haven't developed that muscle yet because I don't feel it, or I'm completely doing it wrong. And I don't know because I see like a million different versions.
It's part of it.
Yeah, and some toes are out, some toes are in. So it
narrow, wide, the arms come this way, the arms come this way. Like I'm watching Autumn's sister. Autumn's sister is this way. Autumn is out this way for certain ways when they're doing their moves. When we have to do like the bilateral ones, like I'm like, which way are we doing this? I don't know. Like I feel totally different depending on if it's out or in. Or when we do this one, some people are holding the weight here and then the elbows pop out. Some are just coming straight. What were you? I know Susan was going to say something.
I was just going to say, because I have had the same experience as far as I don't feel it where she said to feel it.
Right.
But I'll tell you what works for me. And number one is that I go, you know what, if I don't feel it right now, it's okay. The next time I do it, I got it now. The other thing is that I don't know, I just kind of find as I listen to her and I listen to her talk about where she's feeling it, and I listen to her talk about concentrating on that. If I think about where I'm supposed to feel it, then I start to feel it there. Then I'm like, okay. It's like when she says, okay, squeeze your butt, and because you don't think about it. You're like squatting and standing up, squatting and standing up. She's like, squeeze your butt. I just watch her and I try to listen to her say, squeeze your butt or whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean,
and then I feel it after.
It's helpful. I just wish she did more of it, you know, like instead of interacting and kind of and having conversations and being fun with the cast members, I wish she was just more I don't know, just helping us as far as, you know, what it needs to look like to get set up. Because she does to a certain point, obviously, yes, but it's very quick. And it's just hard to truly figure out on every single move, where am I absolutely supposed to be feeling this? I don't know. So that's where I just struggle with. It's just very different. I don't know. Maybe I just need somebody to just kind of like beat the crap out of me. Give me no breaks. I die. And I come out being like, oh my gosh, I actually did more than I thought I would ever do.
But I think that's it. It's who we, in our personalities and in how we like to work out and how we feel, who we really mesh with.
Exactly.
Like I thought I would really love Chalene Johnson, and I just don't. I don't. I don't.
I didn't like her in Pio, but I love her in Turbo Fire.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't tried that yet, so maybe I'll try that after everything.
Turbo Fire, my goodness, that's her true personality. Is like tons of energy, tons of freaking spunk. Like it's like a I don't even know, like a kickboxing, I don't know, kind of plyometrics. It's just high energy. It is an absolute hit workout. But what I loved about it was that I could choose. I only had 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25. I needed low impact, so no jumping that day. I could pick, she had variety of it. And it is like her music, it is high, it's high energy.
Yeah, well, and she is.
Yeah,
and I think that's one of the things that attracted me to her. But I don't know, it's just something about. And then I did the 131 or whatever it is, her new thing.
Yes.
It just didn't jive with me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you something interesting about her. I wonder if you know.
I don't know.
She, because I've been doing a lot of the Dr. Daniel Amen stuff for my mom with the Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
And he does PBS specials, and so he does one called Memory Rescue.
Okay.
He was part of that. She's gone to see him for memory issues and some family kind of stuff. Yep, and she did. Yep.
I did not know that.
Yep, she did that. It's interesting to hear him talk to her because he specifically talks about her and as one of the patients that they've seen.
Right.
Obviously with her permission, but
yeah, that's kind of cool. That's different.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that was like, okay, I respect that.
Right? There are different facets. She's not just in the fitness world.
Yeah. Yeah. She's not just crazy.
No. She's not. She's crazy in other areas too.
Okay, I gotta jump off.
Alrighty. Thank you, Annette.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just took the time in the challenge group today to just sort of touch base with everybody and let everyone know how I was doing and what my thoughts were. And I need to try and really do that once a week at least, so then everybody can kind of know, like, maybe they're thinking the same things and it's not.
I'll have to go look. I ran out of, is that in both? Do those show up in the Facebook group as well as the My Challenge Tracker? Because I've lost space on my challenge on my phone again that I can't run my challenge tracker on my phone.
Yeah, no, I just did that on Facebook, and I haven't been doing much on my challenge tracker.
Okay.
In April, I'm going to really start doing it, and I'm going to have some more info on there and trying to revamp it. I just go back and forth, like I know it's really great, and it's great, for accountability for everybody, myself, to be able to track all the challengers. But again, I think too, a lot of challengers, it's overwhelming to just get used to Facebook and posting and all that stuff, and then I'm giving them another app.
Right.
So, still trying to figure out those kinks. But yeah, no, I always forget that I can actually do videos in my challenge tracker. I always forget that. But no, okay. I just went live in there and just chit-chatted, kind of like just my thoughts about it. But I am really excited for 2B Mindset. I think that's going to be, I did a post about it and I scheduled it for, I think, Saturday or Sunday. I think it's going to be the game changer for, I would say, for most women and a lot of men too, but most women to really, maybe that's going to be like the easier way to kind of get them into a healthier eating.
That's what I was going to say. How is that going to impact portion control containers and that whole thing? Because there are a lot of people who just don't want to take the time.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't think it's going to affect it. I don't even know if they're implementing it together.
That's what I was going to say. They're not. Are they using?
I mean, I would think as a business standpoint they would, but I don't know. No one has talked about that at all.
Yeah, I'm curious if it doesn't sound to me
like they are.
That from Amber that they're doing portion control containers.
Yeah. But I think it'll be okay because, I mean, we didn't have them until 21 Day Fix came. So when I was doing Insanity and P90X, I mean, every single new program had their own version of a freaking meal plan. So it was super complicated. So maybe now it's just getting everybody started, the newbies started, 2B Mindset. And then from there, once they got a handle on that, it's much easier. They already have that foundation to move into portion control, maybe then it makes more sense. Food, food groups and portions and being able to understand, this one, why we need to have a more balanced meals of more veggies and more proper veggies, I think is a huge part of 2B mindset as well. So,
well, that'll be good.
Yeah, and then having the beach bars will be good too, because that'll save my life sometimes too.
Yeah. Well, it'd be nice to have, even for my boys who aren't, doing. Caden would use them more, but even Ian, just something that's good. Exactly. To just go and grab.
That can be like another thing, that even like Caden's friends who are working at the gym. Okay, maybe they don't want to shake. Maybe they don't really care, they don't want performance line, but now here, stop buying those power bars, stop buying, all that other crap. Here's a beach bar.
Yeah, I was watching, we stopped at, my sister was down for some stuff for us to do with my mom this past week.
Uh-huh.
We've had a nightmare of a week. I just want to tell you, it's been.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's just been.
Yeah.
She came down for us to do Alzheimer's stuff, and her car was parked out in front of my house, and some kids came through with a baseball bat and broke out the rear window of her car.
What?
So at 6 on Monday morning or 6:30, I had to call the police out to do a report on that. And then my mom's gotten worse. So it's been, it's just been, she pulled the fire alarm at her. She's hearing voices. We think it's the new medicine they put her on. Mm-hmm. But we've hit this new phase, and so it's been crazy. It was that I was at the emergency room with her all the time because of her gut stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's this new thing about, she's hearing voices, and she was trying to rescue these boys that were in the ceiling that were moaning and groaning. She went out and pulled the fire alarm to get them help, and the fire department came out, and